What's up? Almost at the end of July here. Travel Chronicles. Man, I should have checked the thing. It's chapter 36. I've been thinking about it. I think I'm just going to do 100 of these and then just be done. So whatever that takes me to. If I get to 100 by the end of the year, cool. If it takes me a little bit into 2021, cool. And then I think that'll just be it. Not that I don't mind talking and doing the things and kind of covering, my thoughts on COVID here as it's going on. But I think that'll be a good ending. I was thinking about it. Sometimes that's a problem with things. It's like you just don't know how to cut the cord. You don't know how to end stuff. I think that'll be a good ending. But on the beginning front, I met sort of like who I think will be my new boss yesterday. Not ideal situation because we were in the middle of a PHA, so process hazard analysis to the layperson. It's every bit as exciting as it sounds. It's a tedious thing that you have to do in the chemical industry for PSM, which is process safety management. Also, just as glorious as it sounds. And that's what we did yesterday for basically 8 straight hours. I mean, it was just for one process that we're doing. One new product that we're bringing into existing equipment. And we didn't come out of the PHA with the smoking gun that I had hoped, because the product that we're making is just, there's a lot of risk, not with the reaction itself, but with the handling of the product. And we don't have, where we're asking to have control of the temperature range, like we don't have any control in that particular range, because it needs to be like right around 100, and that's either water or steam for our control system, and we can't regulate that temperature. So without being able to do that, and then part of the neutralization is with water. It uses a water substrate, I guess, if you want to call it that, and the water's just going to vaporize and create a ton of pressure in the vessel. So I have a feeling it's going to be a mess when we go to try and do this. We're just not looking forward to running this at all. This came about probably 3 years ago, 2017, and as soon as it came out, I wanted to punt it. I just wanted to, no, not interested at all. This is going to be completely beyond anything that the equipment on our plant's built for. I don't know why we trying to shoehorn that into there is not ideal. You would need probably some type of tempered oil system for a jacket, or perhaps Dow-therm, some type of heating or cooling intermediate that you weren't worried about a phase change in the middle of it. So I think it's going to be completely beyond what we can do. It could be bad. Like, it could be bad. Not looking forward to it at all. Because it's just not a good way to do what we're trying to do with what we have. And I think that's the first thing, is like somebody needed to take like a real high level look at this and just say, you know what, this is not made for what they have, and said, come up with something else, different way to do it, different process, or invest in the equipment. But we don't have the room. That's part of the problem. It's like we've filled up just about every workable inch, and part of this process, if we get it, it's going to be putting another system in that we don't have room for. So I dread that. Here's the bad thing though. The only way this is going to fail is if it fails in the reactor, and then we're screwed. Just not looking forward to it. But anyway, so that's how I met my boss. Didn't get to talk to her very much. Didn't get to really have any conversation at all. Just kind of brief. Hello. Didn't even get to do a real introduction. Didn't get to see the plan. I mean, you hate to say it's a wasted trip, from her standpoint, but yeah, at least you got to be a part of the PHA. That probably is very, very important to see that, to go through all the questions, get the information for that process, and maybe she can really just sink her teeth into that for what she's going to be doing, which is a process improvement or director of improvement. So at least she'll have that, but just not an ideal meeting scenario to just, oh, hey, how you doing? Okay, let's do a PHA. It's a nice how do you do. So borderline. I don't want to be too eager and be like, oh, hey, do you need anything? Do you need any other information? Anything else we can get for you? But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So as far as COVID goes, baseball came back, and the Marlins have like 19 positive cases. No other MLB team has any. They got like 19. They came out of Atlanta, and that's where Lou Williams, he had to go to the funeral and then stop at the strip club on the way because they're wings. They got wings. They got like the best wings. So, and yesterday happened to be National Chicken Wing Day. So he was out. He was going to celebrate that a little early. Hit up the strip club, get some wings. It's all good. But he didn't have COVID. But the Miami Marlins players did. We don't know what they did. They were in Atlanta. We don't know what they did. They may or may not have went to a strip club. They may or may not have had wings. It's unclear. But so right now, baseball's kind of in flux. They had one team that had a really bad experience with the COVID, and the rest of the teams are fine. So they're playing. They're pushing through. I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, you don't want people with COVID to be playing because it'll just be a rapid spread across the whole thing. And then you have to make that decision. Like, well, is that better if we just expose everybody to it? But they can't do that. Like, they have boxed themselves in to the point where it's like, we can't say it's just a flu. Well, they don't have an option. I mean, the federal government, I guess you can say, kind of boxed them in. That's where we're at. So, as far as my stance, like I feel this is 100% overdone. But we're too far into it now for somebody to say, you know what? If you look back at how we handled the swine flu, that seemed to go okay, and we didn't shut anything down, and we didn't restrict kids from playing sports or pro sports or anything. So I think we'll be okay. Nah, we're not there yet. All right. Well, I think that's about it for today. Not a whole lot, but just 65 more, 4 more, somewhere around there, give or take. All right. I'll try to keep better track. We'll see you later. Stay COVID free.